thought I invited you. My bad.
Oh, it's all good.
Anyway, first ban Gaul from Naventic.
Sorry, what? Wait.
Yep.
Sorry, what? This can't. Wait, what?
Yep.
Wait, what?
It's a first ban on Gaul.
So clearly Naventic knows something that we don't. That, or they're just completely disrespecting the side of Dumpster Tier. I mean, do we see Zag Silv? Do we see Zag Silv? Because if I am them, I pick Zag Silv.
And already there's question in the chat of the lobby.
Real?
What is
that
that ban?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it could just be a throwaway ban so that they kind of let everything go through and they feel more confident getting 3 of the top heroes versus letting Dumpster Tier get only 2.
And this is actually a strategy, like denying of the power picks and, you know, with your first ban versus blah, blah, blah. This is definitely a thing, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to go from here. We'll see. But Zagara is the first pick up here. Dumpster Tier, continuing on with the draft, is going to pick up Greymane. Yeah, I think I agree with Greymane more than I would a Sylvanas here. I think Zagara, like, I love Sylvanas. I feel like the Black Arrow trait is so incredibly strong. But
I know Greymane's really good. That's fair.
And Zagara's team fight is just undeniable. Like, just everything that Zagara does is undeniable.
Yeah, she does everything well.
Excuse me.
No, that's okay. No. I'm just a fan of the double specialist on this map. We used to run this really fun Zool Sylvanas comp on this map, and it's literally just you never have to send more than 4 people to a shrine, and then you just get so far ahead in the early game with the split push that Zool does, and then you ever get any advantage on the map ever late game, and Sylvanas just cranks you to 11. It's silly. But Tyrael, Sonya, hey, the buddies are back. I like it. We haven't seen these two enough lately. This is such a tried and true for so long.
Yeah, and we've been seeing Sonya getting banned out almost every draft too, or not every draft, but a lot of drafts. She was getting banned out. Yeah, nobody really likes the Barbarian. That's such a shame because she's a fun hero, and especially on this map. You know, I mentioned this I think the first time we watched this draft for Infernal Shrines go down. Whirlwind on this map is so incredibly strong because you can take out those skeletal defenders and get a lot of healing out of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you spec into the increased healing at 4 and 7 with those respectively, she gets a lot of work done. And Sylph, there's the Sylph. I did not expect to see it last. And this is the prioritization. Assassins, Specialist, Warriors. And I love it. I love it. There's definitely not a support in the game right now worthy of this top spot because they're all pretty solid. And is that saying that none of the supports are in a great spot or all of them are? I don't know. Frankly, I don't know.
It's interesting because in China region, when I was watching some of those games, I believe it was X Team was prioritizing Greymane Uther. Like their first picks, no matter what, were always Greymane Uther, and whoever they were going against recently was always prioritizing the Tyrael as the first pick. And it was just really interesting to see like every single draft it was exactly those picks. And they would ban out, I think, Illidan and Falstad. It was always pretty funny. Dumpster Tier looking to ban out Rhaegar potentially out of here, taking out the ability for that Ancestral, or maybe an Uther. It looks like they want to take out a support. Oh, they finalized on a Li Ming.
I like this better. So they ban Rhaegar, Naventic bans Uther. They're then forced out of 2 of like their top tier supports, left with Brightwing or Karzim. Now they get to pick up Uther, no problem. I like this ban a lot more for Naventic, denying the cow. So now Dumpster Tier has to pick a tank that's not ETC or Tyrael.
Mm-hmm.
What do they go with? Is it Johanna on this map? Probably. Is it Muradin? Is it a Nubarak? We used to see what was Brainpower prioritize Nubarak quite a lot. So let's see, but that was with cow. So we'll see. We'll see what they're going for here. But Johanna is my personal preference, but I'm just a fan of the hero in general.
Yeah, this might be probably more so a Muradin or an Arthas if I had to assume. Looks like they are going to hover Muradin for now. Rhaegar is going to be their support pickup, getting that Ancestral healing in so incredibly nice. As well as just like Storm Shield is also kind of really nice when you're fighting the skeletal defenders. But that's what I really love about Rhaegar, is that he's got the Ancestral, he's got everything else, and he's got Cleanse as well. He's just such a really good support.
He's so well-rounded. He does things well. He's got good sustain. He's highly mobile, can do some damage. He feels like a really impactful support to me. When they first initially did the round of changes, when God Rhaegar was a thing, and you could you were basically an assassin, you could literally solo. You could solo heroes. You just take Lightning Bond, drop a totem, put like you double shield. They're slowed. They're taking so much damage. It was a joy as a support main to play with that. But now I think he's just in a really solid spot. I'm curious to see whether we'll see the Wolf Run or the Lightning Bond here for the extra shrine, because both these teams so far have pretty good wave clear.
I agree. Ooh, now that is a pick we haven't seen in a while. Lieutenant Morales, the Terran medic, coming in for Naventic. Very interesting decision here. Gonna imagine we're gonna see some sort of either super aggressive melee bruiser at this point, like maybe
Thrall,
Illidan or Thrall.
I even think we're gonna see like a Thrall or a Tychus. We're either gonna see the extra range back. There it is. Okay,
wow.
so we're either gonna see the double range backline, or we're gonna see that. And I like the Tychus pickup here. Actually, I think it's gonna get a lot of value. The zoning that the drill is going to offer as well, if it's placed right, which you know it's going to be, is huge. And there we go. Greymane Zeratul. Morales put the fear in Kona's. Oh, wait. No, wait. That's not. Oh, no. Put the fear in the heart of Naventic. Kenma.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, this is a really good counter to go for that Zeratul. This is exactly what we saw Dumpster Tier do in their first match against Team Game Change. They went for Claudius on the Zeratul.
And he took Gathering Power, and apparently it's super stand for him. And thank you for Jay Howard for pointing that out. And I think my game might have just... No, we're good. Okay, didn't crash. Perfect. Thanks, Jay Howard, for pointing that out in chat. You know, little stuff like that. I don't get to cast some of these guys as often as I would like, so there you are. Gonna let them know that we are, in fact, ready. Two very fun drafts. I'm not... There's elements of both that I really like, and there's other elements that I don't love as much as each. So here's my thing. Greymane, Zeratul. Go in, kill him heroes. Zagara. Not a go in and kill him hero. Everyone's going to go in, and Zagara's just going to be left on the backline to get absolutely destroyed by Sonya. And that's the fear. So for me, it's who can kill their opposing respective assassin first.
Not even assassin. Like, they have to go for either, like they have to go for Morales here, which is the really difficult part. If they have good positioning on Naventic, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And, that's going to be difficult against a Tyrael and a Sonya, especially at level 16. When we start seeing, like, Holy Ground, like, that's going to be infinite amount of peel or infinite amount of zoning.
Yeah, well, near infinite, but absolutely. It's going to be super impactful.
Yeah, definitely not infinite. Yeah,
I know what you meant. I got what you meant.
The word.
It's
sounds great.
Fine. It did sound... It sounded impactful, which is all that matters. And you know what, guys? This is it. Game number 1. The winner of this match goes on to PAX on the left-hand side in the blue trunks. We have Dumpster Tier Rejects. Icona on the Rhaegar. Cladius is playing that Zeratul. Prismaticism on the Greymane. Srey on the Muradin. And Faye holding it down on the Zagara.
And on the right-hand side, we have Naventic, Zuna on Tyrael, Kenma on Morales, Jason on Tychus, Sonya being played by Tomster, and rounding it out is Big Impact on that Sylvanas. We were talking. You said Impact before, and I was like, is he making a Big Impact joke? Is that what that was? Is that what we're going for?
A lovely gentleman. Just a lovely. I like that skin and mount combo. That's the new. Seriously, that is just fantastic. Either way, starting this game off, Faye will set up creep, and so far is not remotely contested by Naventic. I'm kind of surprised to see this, actually.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Naventic not using, Sylvanas aggression at all. Just kind of being, they're just kind of being hyper-aggressive in the mid lane instead.
Cladius went in and Kenma pressed Q, and Cladius was like, well, I can't do anything. Oh dear. Really, that's the power of Medic in this early game, is Kenma's just going to have free reign. Assuming, this is like the Hero League paradigm. Kill the Medic! That's really the situation here, because if Zuna can peel for Kenma, if the grenades can be right, the double grenades can be on point, they can just out-sustain this fight, and it's going to be disgusting. This Medic pick could be the linchpin for the whole draft.
Yeah, I believe it was Mary Day, at least, that I remember reading kind of spawned this build style where you go for the secondary opinion at level 16, which is the double grenades, as well as you pick up the ballistic upgrade at level 4, and it makes Medic just so great at being able to zone. But Kenma actually getting stunned a little bit here. Prismaticism and everybody else jumping in, and Kenma is going to fall. First blood of the game. Tomster is going to be second blood. And
what was that positioning for Medic?
Really great set. Yeah,
He went to set up the scouting drone and paid for it with his life. That's what he was doing. He was setting up the scouting drone. He was like, guys, I need to give us vision so if we get rotated on, we'll be okay. Oh crap, they're already here, and I'm dead. That was just a rough situation to be in, but a great rotation from side of from the side of DTR rather.
Yeah, and that's what they need. They need to find that perfect positioning to really just eliminate Medic as quick as possible. Faye over here tanking a whole bunch of these skeletal defenders is going to be able to net them a lot of them really quickly.
Yeah,
we see Naventic starting to pour in.
Absolutely. The new banelings on these shrines just get so much value. They're really fantastic. And, man, Srey is already getting junked. Jason, the new addition to the team. I like his aggression coming out so far. And, oh, man, the beautiful grenade. Tomster, though, getting quite low. But the healing coming in from Kenma, keeping his brother alive. There we are in the shields. But still, 22 skeletal defenders to 7 here. DTR is looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting really nicely in the beginning of this phase, but that was because Naventic was out of the game for a little bit, just because they had those 2 takedowns against them. But we can start to see Naventic starting to even up a little bit, and they're starting to be a little bit more aggressive, especially with the Medic. They can actually sustain really well, but Claudius going in on Kenma. Can he actually get the takedown is the question. If he can, this is going to go very easily over here to Rejects, but Rejects do get that takedown, so they actually do take command and control of this objective. That's going to be the first Punisher of the game. It's going to be a Mortar.
Yeah, you know, a little baby Mortar Punisher coming out 3 minutes into the game. Not going to do a whole lot. But either way, going to get, you know, some pressure on the map here. But I have to say that everything about that engage was set up by the phenomenal play of Cladius. He came in, singled out the Medic, forced her to respond, forced her to retreat, had to blow the safeguard on herself, which meant that it didn't have it to save here than it needed to. And Sony ended up falling, and that was just sort of the end of the fight. Not a whole lot they could do there, but the superior wave clear of DTR, Zagara, those banelings single-handedly got them so far ahead on the skeletal defender count.
And that's, you know, going back to that whole the first time we watched this map, we were saying just wave clear is so incredibly important just in general, just for getting experience, but also in taking out those skeletal defenders. We can see just how much that wave clear from Zagara is worth on this map. So we can see somebody like Sylvanas is really great when the Punisher comes out. But if you don't get any Punishers because Sylvanas' wave clear, really good, but not really so much against the skeletal defenders, when you have a Zagara, that wave clear is so much better.
Absolutely. No, it really is. Wave clear is the name of the game in this one. And the scouting drone location, man, I miss scouting drone. They were so much fun back in the days to get it on Malfurion. Lots of good times. Haven't seen it much since. Trauma Trigger's sort of been the default. But level 7 coming out now for both these teams, and all the great stun coming out of Zuno, but the return damage, Big E pressing W like a champ. And let's see, taking a look at some of the talents coming out here. Tomster in the backline, though, he doesn't want to let me talk about talents. Srey's getting bumped around, and the heal is coming in. Is it going to be enough? Getting absolutely shredded by Jason. Good night, Sweet Prince. The Muradin is in the grave.
You know, that was a really good call there by Naventic. They knew that the Dwarf Toss was already used, and that's when you're saying, when you see like the Anubarak kind of burrow in to engage, you know that he has no way to get it back out. Same thing with Muradin when he uses the Dwarf Toss already. You know that he's got no other options, so they just went immediately on him as opposed to going for one of the easier to normally take down other heroes. They went for the Muradin because he just had no way to get out. Very smart decisions here. Naventic sitting at level 8 as well, pretty much paired with their enemy, and that's good for them because they had a pretty rough start.
Yeah, they did. Now, pretty much EQ'd the XP beautifully here, but DTR, I like this. They're going to wait a few seconds. They're just going to cap out the siege camp. This is going to be getting pressure in the in the mid lane. I love this decision from them. They're going to miss a few skeletal defenders, but you know what? They've already got Zagara up there. Not a big deal, and they're actually going in onto Zuna in the mid lane. He needs to be very careful. Cladius is coming in to follow up the shields, arguing up the speed boost, and he is going to be able to get it with that Eldruin's Might, so pretty easy so far, but only up about 10 skulls here to the side of their opponents, so this is still a pretty even fight so far, but Tomster is doing what Sonya does, just spin to win on the objective.
Really interesting here as well is that we see Kenma is actually getting engaged upon right now. That was a really good, decisive, like almost surgery-like maneuver where all 5 members kind of jumped in, but that's the kind of the issue. Like, you can think, okay, we need to take down Morales immediately, but you're overextending to do that, and so Naventic turns that around really well.
Yeah, and the thing is it wasn't all 5 members. Faye was still in the back, which meant that he was a 5v4 in that instance. Faye was out of range, not really able to contribute a whole lot to that. So yes, they ended up killing Meta, but you're right, at what cost? And now, you know, both supports ended up falling here, but it's still, you know, the sustain of the side of Naventic is far superior to that of DTR in this situation.
even without Kenma. And that's the great thing here is that they have this composition that they can just sit there and sustain very well, especially with Whirlwind and Tyrael's righteousness allows them to kind of get a little bit of healing back. And now they've got this Punisher. It's an arcane Punisher too, which is that scary one. The one that's got the lethal hopscotch. You want to dodge all those lasers, and if you don't, you take a lot of damage.
Absolutely, but level 10's reached for both these teams. Cladius, he wants to VP someone. You can feel it. You can feel it there. Prismat's running for dear life, but you're right. The power of Sylvanas. This is why she's first pick worthy on this map, folks. Especially when John Cena does stuff like that and just absolutely annihilates it. The drill is going down on the other side of the wall. Not the best positioning in the world on that. And I mean, I might change my mind on that if it kills Srey. But either way, that was so close. I don't know how we live there.
They picked up Medevac instead.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I love this decision. So many times I see Stimpack, but I'm glad to see the actual Medevac being used here. It's been a long time since I've actually been able to see it competitively.
I mean, Stim Drone Odin is still a sight to behold. However, Medevac gets so much value on this map, and you know they pressured the keep. They got a kill, backed out, took a wall. They can be everywhere and anywhere. It's like a Nidus for the whole squad. Because let's see, we didn't end up seeing Nidus, I believe here. No, we did. We ended up seeing Maul.
No.
So
yeah.
Sorry, we did end up seeing Nidus. I lied. There we go. I haven't.
Oh
seen,
yeah, you're right.
There's
Both
one.
of them are giant purple icons, so I always get them confused.
Yeah, I just sort of glanced and assumed because I didn't see any on the map, but actually there's one in the mid lane. But the side of Naventic has just done such a good job of shutting down the creep that it's irrelevant. You can't set up Nidus if you don't have that creep.
Trying to defend the bot lane here is Naventic as we see the rest of Dumpster Tier Rejects trying to push in here. As we have Claudius in the mid lane trying to soak a little bit more experience. They are a little bit behind now in the experience after the last Punisher. And this is, the little bit of a dicey situation because if you're 4 people trying to push one lane while you're trying to soak somewhere else, it means that there's a potential 5-man collapse, and that's exactly what's going to go on here. Srey has to pop the Avatar. There is an Ancestral on Prismaticism. Do they get the disengage they're looking for? Yes, they do. Very, very nice here.
They just baited 3 ults, though. That's a big deal here. That's 88 seconds with no Ancestral. That is a bit of a rough spot if you are the Rhaegar here. And Cladius, I like this. Oh, man, interesting. Actually opting for Farsight at level 7 is Iacona. Not opting for Cleanse. Which I think was justified. Justified.
There's not really much that you can really cleanse at this point, except for Sonya Blades. Other than that, there's not really much that's going to be able to get worth out of the Unstoppable here. So I really like the Farsight, and actually it allows them to kind of keep good track of where the enemy's going to be going and where they're moving, as well as how they need to position, because their team needs to position a lot more intensely than the other team. Absolutely. They only have one warrior to really kind of zone out.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be cautious. Once they commit, they've committed. You know what I mean? If they're going in for Kemma, they're going in for that. They've got to follow up. If they don't get that kill, blow all the resources for it, they're just in a very rough situation.
Yeah.
So now they're going in. Level 13 is reached for both these teams. So this is going to be an even, somewhat even fight here. Static healing, I love that here, as well as the Earth Shield coming in, Hydralisk. So there we go. We will be seeing this fight engage, but Srey is just getting chunked. The damage, the drill is dropping in the backlines. Well, Cladius, though, with the 2-man VP, not actually catching Biggie on the back. This is the falling off, though, and there's the Sanctification, keeping the team in this. The drill is going to fall, but Srey's taking so much damage. Cladius being jumped down the backline, though, and Srey, they're going in this Zuna, though, in a bit of a spot. The Stormbolt is not going to connect, and Srey having to finally pop Avatar, though. Somehow no one has died yet in this fight?
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Srey finally, finally looked like he was going to go down, but not. Prismaticism did get the Ancestral there. The Ancestral was not on cooldown when the beginning, or was on cooldown when the beginning of the fight actually started there. But Naventic, with just such strong zoning potential, was able to just solidify that objective yet again. And that's the great thing about having somebody like a medic here. As long as you've got those 2 warriors kind of making that giant front line, and nobody can get the Kenma, that medic healing is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, kill the medic. Instead, they VP'd the medic. Literally the opposite of killing the medic, and they tried to get the pick off without it, but in the end, just wasn't enough. And the Sanctum Zuna, exactly at the right time, right as the VP dropped, and all the damage was going to come in, just completely negated. And Zeratul, I just felt like he went in, tried to contest, and just kept getting forced out by the Sylvanas. It was just way too much. He just couldn't deal with this. Sylvanas is just such a powerhouse in this situation.
Yeah, and especially just because all she has to do is just start tapping that Q a whole bunch, and all of a sudden now Zeratul's taking a lot of damage that he didn't want to deal with, especially with just how Zeratul works as a hero. Very weak, but has the cloak potential and a lot of damage potential. That was a really good decision to have the Sylvanas in the backline for that zoning potential to stop Zeratul from getting to Kenma. Also, Kenma picked up Spell Shield as well. It's going to knock out a lot of that cleave damage, a lot of the damage from Gravity Spike as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this pickup here. Very much a reactionary play to the build that Cladius is going. So I really like that decision. Really just kind of saying, hey, you know what? I see what you're doing. I can counter this too. There aren't really item builds in this game, but there is still a way to kind of counter what your opponents are doing in the situation. I really like that. But in the end, level 15 to 14, a full level lead for Naventic. They're up very heavily structurally. Their damage on 2 keeps. Nidus Network is starting to come online now. However, it's only defensive Nidus. There's no... Yeah, Zag can start to hop around the map and do work, but she can never do anything more than Band-Aid. Everything is damage control right now. There's no aggression. Well, now there's some aggression coming in as they're invading this camp.
Yeah, but I don't know. That might be a little bit too far forward here. We can already see Zuna going in on Prismaticism, trying to get as much damage as possible. That's another Ancestral outside of a major team fight.
They need to let him die.
Not great.
They should have let him die. They should have let him die. If he died, he would be back up in time for the next Shrine phase. However, Ancestral will not be up for the start of the next Shrine phase. I think that was actually just a miss. I mean, Prismat shouldn't have been there, but Kona did not need to blow Ancestral.
And you're quite right, because now it's going to be level 16. Granted, that would have been a little bit more of experience for them if they did get that takedown, but
they're going to have
still,
16 anyway. And now there's
you're
60 seconds.
Now you're going to be down that talent tier for a little bit. Yeah, you know what? They're going to hit 16 probably by the time this temple starts up. But still, without that Ancestral now for 50 seconds of a temple phase, Shrine phase, sorry.
Yeah, and especially now knowing this.
Oh,
hey, heard you like backdoors, team. Oh, this is just a rough
gets out of there super quick. You see just how quickly that evaporates basically as soon as it drops off everybody?
Yeah, absolutely insane.
StarCraft 2 did that.
So level 16 is reached now. 35 seconds. No Ancestral. Cladius is getting absolutely wrecked. Dropping the VP. Connecting on to 3. The drill is here. Trying to do a little bit of work. But Tomster, man, he's just going absolutely ham. T-God making it work here. But they just can back up now safely. They've blown out VP. They've blown out Avatar. They're very happy with how that went down.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't lose Sanctification or Wailing Arrow. They did lose most of their other heroics. I mean, you know, Sonya's Wrath and Tychus's Laser. But overall, I'd have to say that was actually a pretty good defense there by Dumpster Tier Rejects. They didn't lose the keep from a Medevac Sylvanas. That was actually, I find that kind of impressive. Meanwhile, though, can they get any worth on this engagement? Kenma getting engaged upon, a lot of damage. Sanctification, though, finally going down here. Wailing Arrow also hitting on Claudius, and that's actually huge. If he does actually get healed up, and from the Ancestral, he's going to
The second it came up, he used it.
He was sitting there mashing R.
Yes, that was absolutely insane. And Kenma dodging and weaving in this fight. I mean, it's not enough. Like, they're still just getting these kills. The medic has been left uncontested. They haven't been able to commit. And again, this was the issue I had with the draft from the start. Is Zeratul goes in, Greymane goes in, Muradin goes in, but they end up leaving their Zagara out to dry. And they have to constantly worry about having to babysit Faye in order to try and go in for this medic. And then Naventic just turns, and the draft just doesn't fully synergize. And they're really paying for it because they're down quite heavily right now.
Right, and it's just such good positioning from Naventic. Right? Like, anytime that there's a possibility that Claudius can get back there and start doing a whole bunch of damage, all of Naventic turns around and says, hey, there's a person in the middle of our group. We should probably, you know, like, do damage to him. And so they all do. They all immediately turn, start doing damage to Claudius, and then they back up and then they continue, you know, business as usual. Arcane Punisher now pushing in on the bot lane, starting to do a good amount of damage to the keep wall. This is allowing the rest of Naventic to start pouring on in. Can they get this keep?
This is going to be very close. They do have Sylvanas. The drill's going down. Going to force a bit of... And I don't love the positioning on that. Faye is just getting soloed by the Punisher. Easy. No big deal. This is the keep dead. This is, this is going down. I think they're just going to rotate to mid, take this out. You know what? They might be able to triple keep here if they play... I think they can absolutely triple keep here if they play this right.
I don't know. The top keep's got a lot of health on it, but for the time being, with Faye being down, you're quite right. They've got a really nice advantage right here. Big Impact actually getting engaged upon. Nice grenade there from Kenma to zone them back out.
Yeah,
they're waiting for that overextension. They were just like, you could see them turn around and just be like, hey, come on, keep going, push.
Do it. I dare you. Double dog dare you. But they backed out. I'm kind of surprised they didn't actually rotate up to the Bruiser camp that just spawned for DTR. I think that would have been, if they could get that going, get that pressure going, then back up and start taking everything else on the map, that would have been really sick. But you know what? They didn't want to push their luck. They didn't want to overextend here. They didn't have the drill. But Zuna, man, this holy ground, we've been seeing it such good work all night, but Srey is coming in. He's getting trunked. The cold embrace. They're going on to Kem on the back line. He's running for dear life. There's the VP. That's what they needed. Finally be able to split off the damage here, and the follow-up is here. The Sanctification, they're getting pretty good value. They're turning on this very early Ancestral, though Jason's getting absolutely chunked. They're chasing down Zuna is running the holy ground, though. Going to be able to zone, but that is a very dead Tychus.
Yes, and this is exactly what they need. So now they have all of their members up. They're able to push in. Probably the bot keep is what they're going to go for here. And this might be a good amount of damage, maybe even... I mean, it depends on how the next couple of seconds go.
Yeah, they're going to take a lot of damage for this, especially if Iakona's the one. Oh, the zone is huge. Zuna might actually fall for this, though, but he's dealing quite a lot of damage in return. They're going in on this. I think they can, yeah, they can get this keep, but what a very decisive play. This was really well done. Really well done from the side of Dumpster Tier Rejects.
If they lost Zuna there, that would have been game. And so it's really nice that Zuna played kind of safe there. He was a little aggressive, got a little bit of zoning potential in there, but he was in and out as much as he needed to really stop the potential of them going straight for core, as well as to stop the potential of them getting him as well. So that was really good positioning there by Zuna.
Yeah,
now this leads up to level 20 for both these teams and this shrine. This is on edge.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the whole game has sort of been in Naventic's hands, but in an instant, DTR with one convincing fight, all on the back of a great VP. Turned it, took a keep, equalized a lane. They're back in this level 20 now for both these teams. This is what it really comes down to. This is for all the marbles here. We've got the focus diodes coming in from Tychus, so this drill is going to hurt. All the ults are up. This is the war. This is what it all comes down to. And man, Srey is getting destroyed to start this, but Cladius is coming in. Great job, but Kenma has not been the target so far. And these scouting drones, I love it. Just keeping Cladius a little bit on edge.
I love the zoning potential from this laser, and you can just see how much damage. Like, you need to walk away as soon as that laser goes down. You cannot let that happen. Really nice Void Prison yet again from Claudius. This allows for Kenma. Oh, this forces Kenma to use the medevac to disengage.
Yes,
and they actually turned that round back onto Greymane again.
Oh, beautiful job. Kenma with the clutch ult, saving his life. He wasn't able to get it off in the last fight, but he succeeded here. Jason with the hut, dodging out the Stormbolt 2 from Srey. This is a very rough position. You've got minions pushing in. You've got a Punisher going the way of Naventic. There's no keep here. This is a 19.5-minute Punisher. This is threatening the core. DTR needs to put on the defense of their life.
This is going to be.
That's not how it goes. Okay, never mind. That's GG.
Not how you defend. This is not the. I mean, they said, "Oh, defend with our lives." Gotcha. And
gotcha.
On in, and unfortunately, yeah, that's gonna be in game number 1. Going right on over here to Naventic, but wow, Naventic was such a strong game 1.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning, I was kind of worried when he initially got deleted. That one first Punisher fight, but after that, oh man, Naventic's positioning has been so good.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a protect the Kenma, and Kenma will protect you strat. They're trying to pull the Punisher. It's too little, too late. Come on, team, it's over. No, it was really just they put all their eggs in the Kenma basket, and he came through in spades. I mean the two bros doing everything they could to just enable their team, and the rest of the team sort of reciprocated. It was a very interesting sort of dynamic of how they played that out. The Void Prisons were huge. They were so clutch. But Cladius, he put the team on his back as hard as he could, but he couldn't carry that one. They were just not in a position, and I feel like putting Faye on Zagara it's just frankly a little bit of a waste.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I feel like she needs to be on one of those hard AP carries, and with Zagara, like, she got a lot of worth. You can see all the siege damage she was able to do, more than even Sylvanas. Big impact on Sylvanas. But still, you're right. Like, the heroic damage wasn't quite there. Just in general, I really want to see her break out the Li Ming next game. That Li Ming in the series against TNC was insane, and I feel like they need that round 2.
No, I agree 100%. I definitely feel like that was a big factor there. And, you know, And again, the instance of just the whole team goes in and Faye doesn't go in, and then someone dies and they just couldn't complete. And Cladius just felt so squishy in that game. He went in, and then suddenly there's a Tyrael, there's a Sonya. He's getting shredded by Tychus. He didn't have the confidence that he could survive. And in those instances, because if you've got to pick between Greymane and Zeratul, who do you keep alive? And that's sort of the problem there, is by having two heroes fill that melee assassin role, unless they were perfectly synergized, it just didn't work. There was one time when they both got a medic at the same instance, and it was beautiful. They deleted it, won the fight. Snowball got the keep. But every other instance when that didn't happen, they just lost.
And that's the difficulty of playing against a medic, is that if you're not able to safely destroy that medic in half a second, if your opponent slips up in positioning for half a second, you're going to be able to win that fight. But if you don't, like, that's going to be it. The game's going to go over to the side with the medic. And Kenma, even the time that there was even another time where he got eliminated, but it didn't matter. Why? Because they just overextended so hard to get that kill that it ended up actually leaving their entire team exposed, and Faye was, a little bit far removed. That's the difficulty. That's the danger of going against the medic.
That's it. I mean, and just showing that medic definitely has a place in NA. Right now, with despite the fact we have a lot of really divey, high engaged heroes, I mean, it's definitely showing that there's still a place for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I dig it. I dig it a lot. Really showing off sort of the power of some of these more niche picks. I'm really enjoying seeing it all come together. But guys, we already have a draft. I love how professional and fast these guys are. We don't have to wait. We're instantly in a lobby. Instantly have a new draft. It's so pleasant to deal with, I have to say.
Oh, man. Tomb of the Spider Queen yet again.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited. This is going to be the battle of the rotations. We saw Dumpster Tier Rejects be God Tier accepted people on this map earlier. But Naventic, they looked darn strong on that last map. And you know what? Myself included, I was like, without fan, what happens? But Jason's like, we don't need fan. I'm playing Tychus. It's fine.
Jason's Tychus was really solid. And it's really interesting. I saw him pick up The Bigger They Are. There's been a giant contention point I've noticed between Korea region, NA region, EU region of which level 4 talent to pick up for Tychus. I've seen a lot of Korea region pick up in the rhythm, which is the longer you hit somebody with oh, okay, so there's apparently another, it's the next draft, not that one. And that's the longer you hit somebody with your trait, the more your trait will last next time. Versus The Bigger They Are, where if they're over 40%, you do double damage in terms of your trait. It's a really interesting back and forth I've been seeing for both the regions, and I'm still curious to see who's actually right mathematically.
Someone will min-max the crap out of that and post it on Reddit. I'm sure.
It's going to be like a standard deviation chart
and
and scatter points and
dude,
empirical data,
everything
theoretical
I hated
data.
in university. Fantastic.
Oh, it's the greatest part of university. You get to learn scientifically what's better, this skill or this skill in Heroes of the Storm.
For the longest time, the most I'd ever used my business degree was helping my friend create a business plan for his corporation in EVE. So there you are. Just going to show. This business comes in. But you know what else is business as usual? These teams right now. But you know what it's not? Zool first pick. Hello. Hello, sir. We haven't seen you yet today.
Haven't seen the Necromancer yet. Yeah, you're quite right. And a very strong proponent of wave clear is Zool. He says, how many of my abilities can I fit towards wave clear? Oh, most of them except for one? Great. I will do all of those. And he's just going to be really strong on this map. I love his ability to just be able to raise all those skeletons, keep himself alive, and just keep pushing for ages. So we'll see Tyrael be the first pick up here for Dumpster Tier Rejects. They are now up for their second and third picks. Curious to see how they change everything, if they're going to pick up something a little bit more carry-focused for Faye.
That would be my suggestion. That would be my preference. I mean, Zool, you're absolutely... there it is. And you said it right off the bat. You know, it's make wave clear great again. You know, that's Zool. right now. And, pair that with a Thrall, phenomenal solo bot laner. I think it's great. They deny one, pick the other. But Dumpster Tier Rejects, they're responding 3 heroes we've seen them play super well so far today. I'm excited to see them get the Tyrael back in their hands in the situation. Naventic, how do they respond? Do they ban the assassin they don't want to deal with? Because if they risk here, if they ban an assassin, that's potentially denying it from themselves as well. So they have to pick the assassin that they don't want, but they also then take something away from Dumpster. They're in a not great ban position right here.
They can ban a bruiser. They can ban like a Sonya or a Gall.
They can ban Cho'Gall
or Cho.
again.
Okay.
Wow, the disrespect is real. This is just disrespect.
Yeah.
That or we know that or they know something. That or they've scrimmed Dumpster Tier Reject. I mean, this could be a Cho'Gall comp, actually.
No.
Come on,
no.
okay. Shush. It's fine. No, it could be. It could. No, I'm just trying to pretend Naventic's just not totally BMing. But let's be real. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. It's basically like a throwaway ban, and it's because they don't. I mean, as much as you ban the enemy team, you ban yourselves. You were saying this before.
Yeah.
Who do they ban if they don't ban themselves? And it might not be as much as we want to ban as much as we want to leave our options as open as open for you as they are for us. ETC going to be their pickup here. Good decision so far. Dumpster Tier Reject don't really have any crowd control unless we get Wave of Force on Li Ming, which is generally the go-to pickup. But still, this now forces Dumpster Tier Reject to say, all right, now we need some crowd control, something is stun, deal with that ETC.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mosh Pit's always going to be a threat. Always going to be a threat. Tychus, once again, coming out here. For Naventic, I'm curious to see who's going to be playing what in this situation. I'm really curious where Jason's going to fit sort of into their role pool. That'll be fun. Dumpster Tier Rejects, I would expect, Greymane? Greymane and something. Greymane
hasn't been picked up at all in this draft.
I know, I'm really
first
confused.
7 spots. Splots was what the spots and slots came into. And what's really difficult here is you can see all of Team Naventic lead up to one support pick. It's going to be Uther. And there's nothing that Dumpster Tier Rejects can do about it.
Are you sure it's not going to be Medic?
Pretty sure it's going to be Uther. I would be really surprised to see a Medic again.
I'll be
just
surprised.
because they've got the ETC.
Yeah, Divine Mosh Pits, they're fun, but honestly, if you're good enough, you can do it with Cleanse.
Yeah, that's true.
And they play Medic so well beautifully. And right now, there's not a whole lot of dive on the side of Dumpster Tier. The Entomb might scare him out of it, because Entomb is just hard to deal with. But there's not a whole... unless they pick Greymane here, there's not a whole lot of dive. There it is. So, you're probably right. It'll probably be Uther. But you know what? After how well Kidman played it last game... Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it'll probably be... I don't actually know.
I would like to point out the Lee Yorick pickup.
Yeah, I just sort of glazed over it, because it's sort of... Okay, well, that's a thing.
Yeah, we haven't seen... The Skeleton King, I think his title is, show up that much in any of our drafts today. Oh, what?
Solo. Well, they're just having fun. They're having fun.
Actually, I think ROMG did this they did Tyrande, solo Tyrande, I think. And solo Tassadar. It was one of the two.
Okay, there's the Medic. All right, okay.
We're going back to Medic.
Come on. All right, there we go.
Tassadar with a really strong auto attack team can, depending on your composition, maybe support.
Not into Li Ming, though.
Not into Li Ming, I agree. But depending on the compositions, it does work sometimes. But yeah, Medic I feel like works really well here. I'm still going to say I'm surprised it's not Uther.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting.
It looks like all of Dumpster Tier Rejects are going to go for red skins.
Synergy is important, dude.
Yeah, synergy is very important.
Synergy is crucial. It's the mind games.
Except for Iacona, he's going to be blue.
Okay, that's fair.
So he's feeling blue today. That's why he picked that talent so quick.
Yes, indeed. So
remember he picked Earthgrasp Totem on the Sky Temple. We were curious what was wrong with Iacona. Lo and behold, he's feeling rather blue.
That'd do it. That'd do it right there. And now a whole just mess of skins coming out from Naventic. Okay, they have no desire to synergize at all. That's fine. Oh, wait, maybe now they are. Maybe they're coming. Oh, well, hold on. What are they doing?
I can't see Naventic.
They are doing strange things. Well, I mean, I like... Okay, now they're going orange. All right. This I like it. There they go. They just need big impact to join. Keys. There he goes. No, they did it. They did it. No. They pulled it together. It looks very nice, actually. Oh, there you go. That was right.
All right, so waiting for this game to start up here. And this is 1-0 right now for Naventic. This could potentially be... So do we cast the finals regardless?
There is no finals.
There's no finals. This is our last game.
This is the last game.
Well, potentially last game.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this is the last series. I should say.
Match point.
This is match point. Yeah. If Naventic wins this, they secure their spot at PAX. I mean, all of them were saying, we'll see you at PAX. They did not expect anything else. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. They switch sides on me. Darn it. Darn it, team! But they're going to be up 1-0. Going to this next match. 2 minutes better between. Guys, my name is Inverum. That's Sham2. We're having an absolute pleasure here casting for you. And I want to remind you, if you guys want to play in the next qualifier, it's on Wednesday. You have until tomorrow at noon to sign up for it. They give you an extra 24 hours. So go do that. Don't get roster locked out if you want to go do that. So go sign up now, guys. I linked it in chat earlier, but just go head up on the ESL website.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on into this game. 2 minutes Spider Queen, match point, as we were already saying. And who is in favor? It is none other than Naventic in the blue over here on the left-hand side. Kenma on the medic. Yet again, big impact on Zool. Jason on Tychus. Tomster on the Thrall. And Zuna rounding it out on ETC.
And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, we have Dumpster Tier Rejects. We have Iacona on the Rhaegar. We have Cladius playing the Leoric. Srey on the Tyrael. Prismaticism on the Greymane, and Faye playing that Li Ming.
Oh, so glad to see Faye back on the Li Ming again.
Yeah, it was fun to see. It was fun to watch. That is for sure. Once again, we're going to see Scouting Drone come in for the medic. I missed you, Scouting Drone. And, Backlash. I dig it. I dig it a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision. I mean, really...
Into double tank, man. You gotta do
into double tank. Yeah, that makes sense. There's not really that much auto attack that will be dodged, I guess. Because, I mean, like, double warriors do have a lot of auto attacks, but oh man, that backlash getting a lot of worth. Lady is going to go down. Srey going down. Oh, Dumpster Tier Reject starting to fall apart very early.
That's some damage. Now, that's the thing I don't like about Leoric so much. He just dies. He's just too squishy. He goes, he's like, I'm a tank. They're like, no, you're not. And he's dead. He's just gone. He gets absolutely shreked. You throw a little bit of sick Tychus damage on that. It's really hard to deal with. So that's fairly standard. And now you've got Faye up against Tomster in the bot lane. That is not a fun matchup for Li Ming.
No, it's not. I mean, and this is what I really like about Tomster's position is to keep note of where he's like trying to stay in the middle of all the creeps here. And the reason he's doing that is so that he can dodge all these arcane missiles. Anytime he sees like Faye does poke that out, use the arcane missiles, he just then pokes out and does a little damage back to her because she doesn't really have that much sustain.
Yeah, that Zuna almost pulled off the sick face melt, denying Srey the Eldruin's might to get the Bone Prison. That would have been dirty, but you're absolutely right. No, it's just tough. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do against this. Tomster will win this lane, expend almost no mana. It's the easiest time in the world. You just have to dodge a couple skill shots. But I like what Srey's doing here. He's coming down, going to give her a little bit of a hand, but really, Tomster just doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tyrael Li Ming jumping in on a Thrall is not going to be able to do that much unless there was like some really heavy damage done to Tomster immediately. But since they kind of aren't really landing that much, it's really just a zoning. But when you have to spend 2 heroes to deal with just one, you know you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, Thrall, he's definitely come back. Green Jesus is here. The return, it was a little longer than 3 days, but he's back in the meta. And, Tomster sniffs something out. He knows something's wrong. But ends the end just scouts it out. But now Srey, you're just in a very bad location. The damage coming in from Faye is going to be decent, but not nearly enough.
And that was really smart there from Zuna. If you didn't notice, he waited around by Eldruin's might, where the teleport point was. Tomster, however, was staying on top of Srey. And so, no matter wherever Srey went, it was a losing situation. And that was really good strategic play. Seeing the foresight of where they need to be and where potentially their enemy is going to be in the next second allowed them to get that takedown.
Yeah, and in the main lane, Cladius is in a lot of trouble, barely able to escape with the Wraith Walk. Beautiful job there, timing out exactly how much HP he had at his disposal. And the rotation war is just being crushed by Naventic right now. Zul, the god. I think Zul's a good hero, guys. I think people should keep that in mind a little bit more. Down in the bot lane, Tomster running for dear life. 4 members rotated, they still couldn't kill him.
Yeah, this is really rough. He's very well aware of when the enemy is Mia. And that's really smart. Sorry, missing in action.
Yes,
and that's,
MIA.
Yeah, MIA. And that's really good calls on his part, and that's going to allow them to just keep that bottom lane under their control for so long, as well as allow the rest of the enemy team, the rest of Naventic, oh my god, I can't talk anymore, to walk back and forth and just pick up takedowns, and they get the first set of web weavers.
I'm dubbing this comp from Naventic the ping pong comp, or so the ping pong or pinball comp. That's what we'll go with, the pinball comp, because Jason's got a disruptive grenade, Kenma's got a disruptive grenade, Zuna's got the face melt. They just bounced around Cladius so much in that last fight, he actually couldn't Wraith Walk because he was just knocked all over the place. It was hilarious. It's just, they're playing pinball.
Ooh, a little bit aggressive there from Saray to use Eldrin's Might to teleport into the middle of the enemy. Zuna could have kind of face melted there and potentially melted Saray a little bit quicker. But right now, I mean, like, there's just nothing that they can really do at this middle lane. There's just, anytime they poke forward, Jason's just right there with his minigun. Iacona is actually going to get eliminated too. Really nice face melt there from Zuna to zone him out.
It's just really solid play. Jason, the damage he's putting out right now, 17k. 10k above anyone else in this team. Prismat in the mid lane just getting shreked. Not a lot they can do about that. They're up 2 levels right now. This is just Naventic playing out of their minds. We were questioning how they were going to look without a fan. They are answering us in spades. They are looking questionably stronger than they were before.
Yeah, this is, like, let's keep in mind here. All right, so we watched Team Name Change lose to Dumpster Tier Rejects. Name Change has been in every single regional. Dumpster Tier Rejects in their different formations have been in every single regional. Naventic has been in every single regional. And simultaneously, every single match we've watched, it's like a step up in competitiveness. And seeing Naventic in this situation, this form, I'm agreeing with you. I think this is a really strong team right now.
Yeah, and Medic took Mule because, you know, do it. No, this is actually weird. They really don't need the puns here. I think this is absolutely phenomenal pickup. And no, but you're right. It's a step up every single time. It's just like, well, man, they were so much better. Wow, they're so much better. It's just like, what? And I almost feel like Jason is actually synergizing more with their playstyle because he's such an aggressive player himself. He's just synergizing so well with the rest of the team. They're going in. Oh, I love it. In the top lane, Prismat's getting shreked. Sray is getting destroyed. The body blocks. Li Ming falls as well in the bot lane. Not a whole lot to do. Level 10s came in and they just went to town. 2 heroes killed. They're going to get forts. Naventic came to play.
10 to 8, 11 to 8 right now. They pick up the medevac. They're going to go down into the bot lane. They're going to take down another fort. 3 forts down. 6:30 into the game. 3 levels up. Naventic coming out of nowhere. I mean, like, they've always been a great team, right? Like, they've always been highly competitive. They were really far in DreamHack Austin. Did they win DreamHack Austin? I'm trying to remember.
I mean, they were top 3. I mean, or top 4 last.
Yeah.
Top 3. Yeah, in the last qualifier.
Yeah, in the last regional.
So like, there's definitely up there. But again, they just look so confident right now. I love it. I just love how Jason's just standing with the tanks. He's standing next to them, just feeling completely safe, knowing that Zuna and Kenma have got his back, and it's just phenomenal. And Prismat, there they go, the aggression coming in, face melt, doesn't even need to blow the mosh, and that's exactly it. Just so confident, so aggressive, taking every advantage they can. They've got level 10, they have nothing to fear.
And it's just stopping Dumpster here from being able to walk out of their own base at all. They weren't even that far out, and already Zuna's getting picks. Like, that's the power of where their team is at right now. 12 to 9 right now. If they get level 13 over their opponents even getting their heroics, this is almost like too far.
I mean, this looks like a more like traditional round 1 matchup. Like, this is just they're just being outclassed right now. I mean, Zuna might, like, there you go, Kenma, press Q. Kenma trolling his brother there. But they're up 4 levels. They're in the semifinals. The winner of this potentially goes to PAX, and they're up 4 levels. Naventic is playing out of their minds.
But they didn't lose a keep yet. And
that's huge.
My large motto of this game is, if you haven't lost a keep, you're not out of the game yet. Still looking pretty bad, but I still continue with that. Like, you can win a couple of team fights, yada, yada, yada. Once you lose the keep, that's when you start losing definitive map control. And that's where things get a little bit harder.
You're 100%. That is a great motto. My motto is stuns win the game. But, you know, both mottos equally valid. Oh, man, Zuna's going in. Don't even have to let us get us a chance to talk about it. Level 10 is being reached both these teams now, but the Bone Prison's coming in. The Drill is following Prison out. The Sanctification, great value, though. The Ancestral's connecting as well. Zuna not really in position to get the mosh pit off. Sray's going in, but the beautiful Sunder Tomster from the back, and they're just destroying it, instantly canceling out the mosh pit. A great wave of force, but in the back, Sray is just getting destroyed. Not able to get it, but he's going down. Is he going to get much with it? Even in death is not even enough.
3 heroes down. There's just a couple of bear keeps that have not really that much damage done to them, but this could potentially lead to something a little bit more of a push. Looks like they're just going to actually be perfectly fine with going for the bruises right now, and that's a little bit of a safer decision. Also stops the ability for Delta Tier rejects from being able to kind of get those later on. Oh, really interesting Entomb. Can it actually lead into anything? The Arcane Orb did not quite hit. And they actually turn that around, take out Faye, take out Claudius now next, and they just get a couple more pickups.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the pinball draft, because DTR is full tilt right now. This is not going in 4v3, like 3v4, what? Like that? What do they think was going to happen there? No, this is, wow, just Naventic looking so solid. Dumpster Tier Rejects has not turned in a gem.
Look what happened when Sray decided to use Eldrin's Might into Jason.
Jason was like, hey, your health, it's gone. Your health has belonged to me.
This is the strong point of the bigger they are. Like, you can see just his 40% of his, or 60% of his health just evaporated in half a second just due to the minigun trait.
Yeah, and this is the 3rd turn in a row. Zuna is making Sray real sad. They're probably going to have to blow Ancestral. Oh, there's the Sanctification. That's still not what they wanted to do. Oh man, Zuda's slowly getting chunked out now, but it's just not enough. Faye's getting Bone Prison. They're chasing down Prismat as well. He's in a very rough spot here. The grenade not going to connect, but in the end, Blue Web Weavers are marching down the lanes. Level 15 to 12. Manor Mules. Ha! Naventic.
Manor Mules before they even core. Like, generally you throw down the Manor Mule is like, we're about to win. Actually, does the Mule repair the... Oh my god, I would have been so happy if the Mule repaired the laser.
Yeah, but Claudius, he's dropping the Entomb, and he's dying for good measure. They just don't have the damage. They cannot deal with this. There's the Bone Prison. The grenade's actually not connect. Biggie needs to be careful here, though. They're finally returning on this, but in the meantime, Web Weavers are taking down the keeps. Really, the only thing stopping them from continuing this fight is Kema's Mana Bar.
Yeah, and that's a really good call. You know, always remember how much mana your support player has, because if you don't, you're going to be in a really bad time. That's what I like about Naventic. Like, yeah, sure, they're really far ahead. They could have pushed forward and potentially gotten that keep. But if you let that possibly turn over into an advantage, an overextension for your enemy, guess what? You just threw the game, or you just threw your advantage. Because it's 15 to 12 right now. Sure, that could have been probably like 13 to 16 or something like that if the giant team fight happened. But why risk it? Just play safe. You know you're in the advantage. Just wait for that 16.
Yeah, oh, and Sray... They're actually using the Mule to scout right now, I think, as much as anything. They know he's there. They've got the scouting drone up. This is huge. Okay, if I'm Naventic, I want to win this game without letting DTR turn in a single gem. That's the goal for them right now, and they're looking to make it happen. Sray's going into the backline. Biggie's getting chased down there, and the follow-up. The Sanctification getting not a whole lot of value. Big Impact, the heal is getting a lot. Then there we go. The Poison Nova coming in, getting quite a bit of damage done, but so far not able to really get the damage through. Prismaticism going in is finally able to kill Zul, but paying forward with his life, and the Mosh Pit hits too.
And that was a really interesting call there to go for the Entomb on Kenma, but then nobody was able to follow up with it, and that's just the problem. They keep trying to go for Kenma, they keep trying to get some sort of great positioning, but every time they do that, Naventa's like, you just walked into our trap. Like, we've got so much damage, so much close range, please engage on us damage. Thrall, Tychus, Zul, these are things that you don't want to engage into, and when you mix that with Kenma's medic, she just waits in the back line, you have to engage into it, and then all of a sudden, now you've engaged into 3 heroes you never want to engage into.
So what you're
Really
saying,
great drafting.
what you're saying is Kenma is Admiral Akbar.
Right. Actually, no. The enemy team is Admiral Akbar, because they walked into the trap.
It's a trap! So he's Maximilian Pegasus. Perfect. I like it. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. There you go. Level 16 to level 14. This is just in the hands of Naventic right now. They're denying the turn-in, but the damage from Faye is coming in the Bone Prison onto Prismat, and he's just getting destroyed. The cleanse, a beautiful job, though, and the Sanctification coming in, trying to keep him alive. They are, but the drill is just too much. Zuna is here. Even if he dies, that was completely worth it, but the healing from Kenma is doing enough. Prismat solo, Cladius as well. The drill is getting so much value, and Cladius is going to fall, and they want more. They're looking to end the game or at least take another keep.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the next keep, is going to be the next call, and that's probably the safer decision here. They only got 2 heroes down. They've only got 15 seconds before they're back up. 14 to 17 in levels right now. They've got their level 16 talents, and using them to full advantage just to keep this pressure alive. It looks like another Bone Prison going down there on Prismaticism with tons of damage coming in. Even with the Ancestral, he gets melted yet again.
Yeah, and the healing from Kenma is enough, and they're just chunking down Leora. Cladius almost diebacked again. Oh, man, and not quite enough. Zuna, the healing is there. Sunder was burned as well, but not able to secure the kill, so this keep is in a lot of trouble, but it is going to live for now. They don't have enough gems to turn in, so they're just going to back, take bruisers? Like, what do they do here? Just, you know, heal up and then do it all over again?
Yeah, they just wait at this point, which is, you know, the smarter decision. Don't overpress your advantage, and that's exactly what they need to do. They do have a mosh pit ready, so if they do need to engage again, they do get an overextension. They have the ability to at least mosh, but right now, just wait. Just be nice and patient. Your enemies don't even have level 16 yet, and so DTR, they just have to run around and hopefully pick up some sort of some experience here and there. But here's the great thing is they've been staying in the Shroud, which is really smart because you can see already that DTR has to overextend to check the boss constantly.
Well, I don't need to check the boss. They're just going to go for the boss. They know this is the only way they come back in this game is with a crazy play. I like this. Don't play to not lose, play to win, and that's exactly what they're doing. Zuna is coming in. The whole team is here. The follow-up damage, but Rhaegar's in a rough spot. Not allowing him to get into the Sanctification, the mosh, the follow-up. They're going on him, but it's not enough. Rhaegar just gets destroyed. Kenma is surviving in the backline. Beautiful job pulling this out. Jason's in a great position. That's 3 for none. They're going to cap this boss themselves. This is probably going to be the end. That was just Iacona getting destroyed.
He got caught by the boss's giant stomp as well, which really did not help out at all. And that really kind of turned the entire game into being, or that whole entire engagement, that was already Naventic favor, way more. When the boss is not with you, it's all of a sudden now a 6v5.
I feel like Iacona was stunned for like 5 seconds straight. That just hurt my heart to look at. You can't cleanse yourself. And that's level 19 to 15 right now. This is a boss pushing in the top lane. More Manor Mules because why not? This keep is just gone. I think it would take an absolute miracle for DTR to survive, and less of a miracle when Rhaegar just dies.
Yeah, he ran kind of right on in there. Didn't really have too much to try and save for himself. Faye trying to go for the reset. Not going to be successful in doing so. Really nice W coming in there from Kenma, the safeguard from Lieutenant Morales. Definitely saving Jason there. Claudia's going to fall as well, and there's just nothing left but Srey. And I don't know where Srey is. Oh, he's just over there just fighting. And wow, a very confident victory here. And in fact, they all jump into the medevac. A little manner.
A lot manner. Guys, this is going to be it. Naventic is going to be the first team to qualify. Well, I guess one of the first teams to qualify for PAX. They did it in convincing fashion. They did not let DTR turn in a single gem. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Wow, Naventic is looking really good right now. I just, that's all I have to say after watching that series. It's just Naventic is looking so good. But at the same time, I feel like Dumpster Tier kind of got a little tilted. I feel like they started kind of playing a little less clean than they normally did. And maybe that first game kind of like got into their heads.
Oh, I think that's exactly what happened. I think they didn't let that first game get out of their heads. They didn't reset going to the second one. And Kenma on Morales forced them to just play a different game because you had to go kill him. But the second you tried to go kill him, you were punished. And then they found themselves at a quandary. What do we do? And they just couldn't find the answer. Prismaticism died 8 times trying to get to Medic. And in the end, it just wasn't nearly enough. Iacona at the end of that last game just did not look like himself. One of the top supports in NA looked frazzled.
Yeah, I mean, just the positioning, the calls at the end of the game were looking really rough, but at the same time, they were a billion levels down. Like, it was level 13 to 9, I think, at one point in this game. That's not easy to say, okay, we've got a chance, right? Right, team? Team?
Not quite enough. And in the end, again, Naventic, congrats to them. They qualified, did it in convincing fashion, showing that, I actually think they look stronger than they did with Fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jason, he's right there with the tanks. He is so aggressive. I love it. So that's 2-0, guys. That's it. Really short day, 3.5 hours. That's it. That's easy. I mean, go still do things.
This is a nice simple day. I'm gonna go. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go do things. Hang out, and
be productive.
Yeah, but we were productive. Well, I was productive all morning casting these games. Thank you so much for having me, dude. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Dude, thank you so much for joining me. It's you know what? Again, we said like a while. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It finally did. It finally did. So, dude, thanks for coming
Not only did it happen, it happened for HGC. At that.
It did. It did indeed. And we got to cast 6 games, man.
We did. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is it for us. Of course, if you are watching this channel right now, do yourself a favor. Click that little heart in the bottom left-hand corner and follow Invernum, as well as follow him on Twitter at Invernum Gaming.
You're never going to say my name right. Never.
What is it?
Inverum.
Inverum.
There's no N in there. There's an N in there. You're never going to... You'll get there, bud.
Scary Latin words.
Scary Latin words. That's it right there, guys. And with that, go follow Sham, too. Go give him your love as well. He streams far more than I do. I don't get a chance to stream much other than these games. But you know what, guys? Either way, go check that out. And with that, have a great rest of your day. We will see you on Wednesday, where the next qualifier is. And yeah, that's going to be a thing. So, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.